Greetings, friend, and welcome to the Between the Covers podcast, where we are working every day to remove the self-limiting beliefs that are preventing us from becoming the heroes of our own stories. I am Marcus Spar, and I just want to give you a quick reminder before we jump into our topic of respect today that I would greatly appreciate a comment, a like, subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'd greatly appreciate a 5-star review on iTunes, on Spotify, wherever it is that you are listening, if it has that capacity. I would greatly appreciate anything that can just kind of give me a note on how well things are going here. And tied into that a little bit here, I don't know what's happened the last 2 months, but I have had some days where I have had over 100 downloads of my podcast, and I don't know where that's coming from. So if you're one of those individuals, maybe you're new here. First of all, I want to say welcome. If you are one of those who has been doing bulk downloads and trying to get caught up with the content that I produce here, I just want to say thank you so much. I so appreciate you being here, and I'm looking forward to continuing these dives into what it is to be the heroes in our stories. All that aside now, let's talk about respect, because one thing that is super important for us to remember about heroes, our heroes tend to be people that we have a high regard for. They are people that we admire. They are people that we respect. To start us off here, let's talk about what is respect. So, respect is defined as feeling that someone or something is important and therefore should be regarded appropriately. If you have a higher regard for something or someone, then it's something you respect. You can also consider it having great appreciation for the good ideas and qualities of others and how they have an impact on the world around them. So that is what respect is. Respect is something that is earned. It's not something that is demanded. Anyone who is demanding respect from you or of you, they tend to be people who are not worthy of your respect. They, I would go so far as to say, are very much antagonistic. And what do I constantly harp on about the difference between antagonists and protagonists is antagonists are the heroes in their own stories, but they also have beliefs and actions that are diametrically opposed to the protagonist, us, and our own stories. And respect is one of those tricky things that it can be given, it can be received very quickly if you are able to garner the respect of others, and it happens in a rather short time span. That's great. Most people, they have to do a lot of work in order to gain their respect, and it's also something that can be shattered by the wrong action and words. This is something I have seen far too often. And I think about people in my friend group. There were a lot of us that grew up reading the Harry Potter books. And I was a huge fan of the Harry Potter movies. And I've pretty much got all of them on DVD. And now they're also a point of shame because the creator, J.K. Rowling, someone I used to have a lot of respect for, no longer has my respect. She is a TERF, and that's just being blunt about it. She has incredible disrespect for transgender individuals. And considering I have 2 transgender friends, I can't see myself respecting someone who has such low opinions and a sanctimonious attitude about the lives of people that are not even hers. She's trying to dictate what happens with people that are not her. And it's unfortunate when that kind of stuff happens. I used to have respect for Bill Cosby, and because of the predatory behavior that he exhibited over decades, he's no longer someone that I can respect. And it sucks when that happens. Jeff Dunham is another one. 2 comedians in these examples. He was someone who I respected greatly. He had an awesome sense of humor, incredible talents as a ventriloquist and everything. And then there was horrific stories of him having extramarital affairs with his wife, and then eventually just divorcing her in order to marry his affair partner. I can't respect someone like that. Well, I guess I can respect someone like that, because that would imply that I would have no respect for my parents that had very similar stories. However, it took a lot of time for me to regain trust with them, because of, at the time, they were living counter to everything that they had taught me growing up in the Christian church. And maybe that was one of the things that caused my deconstruction to happen, is I just saw that hypocrisy. I just saw these examples of people who were saying one thing and then doing another. That's something that I can't respect. And I try very, very hard to be an example of integrity for the people that I interact with. I just want to pose the question: who are people that you respect? And I get the feeling that if you were to look at the hopefully myriad of different people that you have respect for, you would probably see some common threads between them. People that show integrity, people that keep their promises, people that make the effort to try and connect with you, people that hold the space that you need when you need it, people who are individuals that you just can see yourself spending a lot of time with, people who make you a better person. And when I think of respect, there are actually a lot of people that I can consider as individuals who are worthy of my respect. And I'm going to start off with my beloved partner, Libby. She has been through so much. She has had to endure so much. And I have seen her overcome a lot of fear and a lot of anxiety. I have seen her flourish when she has been in the presence of people who truly love and care for her. She is someone who constantly challenges me to be a better person. And I know in the 16 years that we have been married and the 17 years that we have been together, I would not be the person that I am today if it wasn't for her. If it wasn't for her support, if it wasn't for her being that strong pillar and that foundation in times when I've needed it, and being someone who has exhibited so many awesome and heroic qualities. My friends, Ben, Brandon, and Katie, John and Dan, and my new friends Kate and Dylan. These are people that I admire so much. These are people that when I have been in need, they have been there. They have, with everything that was taking place since even 2020, many of these have been individuals that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. I would not be even sitting here in front of this microphone if it wasn't for them and the support that they have offered. I respect these people because they live genuine, authentic lives, and they do not compromise who they are. My friend Ben, he is one of the first people that if I were to pick up the phone and call him, he would answer, even if it was the middle of the night. Ben is also one of the people who has provided plenty of space for me as the struggling midlife man that I am. He has created a lot of space and has not just offered the support and has not just given me the affirmations that I need. He has also been someone who has taken a great interest in things that I enjoy. He is someone that I love to spend time with. He is someone who makes me laugh. And he is also someone who I trust with those that I love. And I know that he is going to care for them with the utmost care and tenderness. My friend Brandon and Katie as well, they are an awesome couple. These are people who are very firm in who they are. They know what it is that they want, and they work damn hard to get it. They were trying to sell their house and get a new one. And the housing market is not all that great over here. And so when that didn't pan out, well, now they're trying to do some remodeling. And they want to make their house exactly how they want it to be. And you know what? It's taken a lot of time. It's taken a lot of work. It's taken a lot of negotiating. And every single time there seems to be a new update. The latest that I heard from Brandon is they met with an engineer to make sure that that everything that they're wanting to do was going to be sound. It was going to be scientifically sound for the house that they have and the plans that they're trying to make with it. And on top of that, Brandon also knows his limitations. He's not an architect. And so he knows the next step is to hire someone to design it so that they can start the next step. And Katie, oh man, with her current role, she worked really hard to get into the position that she is in. And she had to put up with a performance improvement plan. She had to put up with, at times, very long hours and days that were incredibly taxing on her physically, mentally, and emotionally. And she is someone who when she asks, "How are you doing?" you know it's not just the typical, "Hey, how's it going?" "Oh, good." You know she means it. You know she wants to know the truth. And she's another one who just provides this awesome space to talk. And she has been an invaluable friend, not just to me, but to Libby as well. And my friends, John and Dan, we went to a celebration just this last Saturday. And my friend John graduated with his master's degree. And we made a big deal out of it. Oh, he worked so hard to get his master's. He put in so much time, not just with his studies, but he was also directing plays at his school. There's still his full-time job. He's still trying to participate in the community band that he and his parents are involved with. He worked really hard. And yet he still made time for the people that he cares about, including myself and Libby. And my friend Dan, he did so much to pick up the slack during that busy season. I mean, it was months that, I don't even remember how many semesters it was, but it was months that John would have these moments where he's super busy taking classes, and then he would have a little bit of downtime before the next semester started, and the whirlwind picked up again. And you know what? Man, Dan kept things moving, and he also still made time for us. Still made time once a month for the two of us to get together for coffee or breakfast. And you'll probably notice a thread here. He is another individual who has allowed space for me when times have been really rough. And they are going to be getting married in September. And just this last week, Libby and I found out that they wanted to honor us by having us be members of their wedding party. Libby was asked to be a groomsmaid for John, and Dan asked me to be one of his groomsmen. And that, to me, that is such a high honor. It really is. And I'm excited to do that. And I'm excited to support and celebrate these really awesome friends of mine in one of the most, I don't even know if I could say one of the most important moments in their lives, because I mean it's a ceremony, and these two, they're already living it. Man, I have seen these two navigate through conflicts, and there have been times when words have been said, deeds have been done that has hurt one or the other, and how quickly they are able to come back and apologize and repair the relationship. And they are actually quite an inspiration of what it is to be supportive partners to each other. My new friend Dylan, and even my new friend Cade, my two transgender friends. Oh, you want to talk about respecting these people. We're talking about people who are living out the lives that they want to live, even when society is telling them it's wrong. Oh man, my heart broke just this last Sunday, just yesterday actually, when I heard about a very, very traumatic reason for why Dylan is not in contact with someone that should be a very close individual in her life, because of the choices that she made in order to be brave and live out her life. And my friend Cade, oh, he is so busy. He is so busy with being a therapist and trying to support people in the queer community here in the Tri-Cities. Yet he still made the time for me to interview him for a podcast. We haven't really gotten together like we hoped that we would, but it's also been on my mind to send out a message and be like, hey, did we want to have a Zoom call or something and have, our partners there and just kind of hang out and talk? Because that was something that we talked about back in November of last year, and still hasn't happened yet. These are people that even if I send them a message and it takes them a while to get back, one of the things that I know is that they will get back to me. They always do. My friend Joshua, who was my old boss at my last job, he and I still get together every single month, and we just kind of catch up, and he is raising an incredible family, and he is one of the most supportive husbands and fathers that I have ever met. I could say the same thing about my oldest brother, Jeff. He is also just an incredible husband and father, and I'm starting to realize some connections here between Joshua and Jeff, in that the two of them are also showing a lot of responsibility for family members who are maybe struggling to take care of themselves. And it is incredible watching them be these shining examples of what it is to be a son, to be a brother, to be a friend. Brad Onishi, Dan Miller, Laura Anderson, and Matthew Curbs. I listened to their podcast, the Straight White American Jesus podcast with Brad and Dan, and then the Sunday School Dropout podcast with Laura and Andrew. And these are people that are getting into the real deep parts of society today and religion and culture. And with all of the bullshit that's been going around about free speech and trying to silence people who are saying anything that's against the current politicians in power, and seeing these people who are constantly showing up on at least a weekly basis, and they're not afraid to use their voices to speak out against these power structures, to point out the things that are lacking in society, in our culture, in religion, in politics. I can even say the same about No Illusions, Heath Enright, Eli Bosnick, Tom and Cecil of Cognitive Dissonance, and even Michael Marshall, who is a frequent guest on their podcasts. These are people that are putting in a lot of effort and hard work to point out the flaws of the power structures. And some of them go so far as to use pseudonyms, and it makes sense because they're saying some things that would absolutely get them in trouble. And yet they're not afraid to speak out against any of this. I have so much respect for my friend Mike McHargue, and oh man, the work that he did with deconstructing his own faith, figuring out what Christianity looks like for him in a modern age, and just creating such a safe space for so many people to ask questions about science and faith. And he really showed up for all of these people with so much compassion and empathy. It honestly helped me to become a much more compassionate and empathetic person. I have so much respect for Tori Williams Douglas and Benjamin Fay of the White Homework podcast. These are people that are putting in so much time and effort to point out what is going on with racial dynamics in American society today. I have a lot of respect for David Tennant and Hugh Jackman of John Krasinski and Jennifer Lawrence. These are celebrities that the more I've gotten to know them, the more I see them living authentically. Granted, some of them I don't know a whole lot about, but again, some of them are much more private than others. And yet these are individuals who have just made my life so much better by the little bits that they have had some kind of influence in. And the last person I want to talk about as someone who I respect is a friend of mine who is a Twitch streamer, and sadly he's also going to be retiring from that here real soon. But I have enjoyed my friend Slowpoke. Slowpoke316 is his handle, and every single time I have interacted with him, he has just been such a compassionate and loving person. And he not only has made some of the streams that I've tuned in just absolutely hysterical and fun, but he has also just created such an area where he just creates a safe space and respects people. He loves them, and it's been a absolute delight and pleasure to have been a part of his community for as long as I have. There are a lot of people that I don't respect. And those of you who have been listening to this for a while, maybe that's you, my friend, a lot of these names are going to sound familiar. But people that I don't respect, anyone who's an authoritarian, that includes Donald Trump, that includes Vladimir Putin, Benjamin Netanyahu, Pete Hegseth, Brooks Pottinger, these people who are using their positions and the power that they have to push about some agenda and causing so much harm to others. And speaking of that, individuals who don't respect life and dignity of others, those are individuals that I cannot respect. Anyone who looks down on people of the LGBTQ community, people who look down on individuals of different ethnicities, individuals who are Hispanic, those who are Black, those who are Asian, anyone who looks different from someone like me. Again, a heterosexual white American man who is cisgendered. Anyone who looks different from that and looks down upon them, I can't respect someone like that. And I can't respect anyone who is associated with the New Apostolic Reformation. Individuals who force their religion on others. Individuals who are so adamant that their belief is the right belief that they are going to make it challenging at the least and they will be life-threatening to those who have different beliefs than they do. Those are people that I cannot respect. And another group of people that I cannot respect are Karens. Whether we're talking men or women, individuals who are so sanctimonious and entitled that they consider themselves above reproach. Those are individuals that no matter what is said or done to me, I cannot respect them. I absolutely cannot. The final thing that I want to say here is who you respect and withhold respect from says a lot about who you are as a person and a hero. So when I posed that question earlier about who are the people that you respect, and I showed examples of people I respect and people I do not respect. But when you came up with names of individuals that these are people that you respect, and maybe as I'm going through examples of people that I don't respect, maybe some people came up for you, that says a lot about who you are. That says a lot about what you've had to go through. And there are many people out there who are going to demand respect. And I will reinforce this again. It's not something that can be demanded. It has to be earned. And if you cannot respect someone, if they are doing things that do not earn your respect, it's okay not to respect them. Those are people who don't deserve your respect. We're better than that. We are stronger than that. Save your respect for the people who truly, truly have earned it. And hold on to those people as much as you can, because they will make you a better person. And until next time, live strong for today.